I find it interesting that every time I have to wait for a delivery in the rear stairwell at some random hour, all of a sudden everybody in the building has to use the rear stairwell instead of the front one. The front one is much bigger, wider. There's no random piles of trash lying in the areas of the front stairwell as there are in the rear stairwell, but all of a sudden everybody now has to use the rear stairwell because I happen to be standing in it at some random hour waiting for delivery. So now you have all these creeps hanging out in this area right here. I've had to lock the door because some guy started yelling at me when I walked away from him when he started going down the rear stairwell. He was like one floor up. Hey, you, hey, Really? I'm just standing there holding my bag, looking at my phone, and he starts acting like a filthy animal. And then as I started running away from him, literally to get into this bathroom, he starts running even faster down the stairs coming at me. These pieces of shit are not normal. I keep saying that. They're not normal. They don't behave like rational human beings. They come flying at you really fast in some aggressive way that has nothing to do with anything that you happen to be doing at that time or even in the past. I don't interact with these lowlifes. I stick to myself. I live here because it's inexpensive and I can afford it in spite of having a ton of student loans to pay back from my PhD program. That's why I live here. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not looking to provide these pieces of shit with special favors as they seem to think that I owe them. And yet they keep flying at me when I'm literally hiding in a corner somewhere, keeping to myself and minding my own business. So I'm going to keep this camera rolling because my delivery is almost here and I will have to leave this bathroom at some point. And if these pieces of shit are still loitering around in the hallways and stairwells, harassing me when I'm simply going from point A to point B, then I will call the police. Absolutely. Why did that piece of shit even have to use the rear stairwell? I mean, there's been a ton of people going up and down the front stairwell. Now they're all of a sudden using the rear stairwell. They've been all agitated all afternoon. I've been standing here for maybe 20 minutes waiting for my delivery. And there's just a lot of agitation in the building today for some strange reason. Yeah, now somebody is like slamming a door down the hall. They're such psychos around women. They're literally just a bunch of involuntarily celibate hate stalkers who think women owe them something and they're angry that they're not getting it. I'm going to let you do the, deductive reasoning on that one. What do they think women owe them? And that's why they keep coming at women in an aggressive, irrational, intrusive manner constantly whenever you happen to be in the same 50-foot space as them. That guy started shouting at me from one floor up because he happened to apparently see me standing at the bottom of the stairs. If you look down at the top of the stairwell, you can see somebody standing at the bottom of it. Now there's somebody outside this door just kind of hanging out. You can hear the door squeaking. I can. This isn't a professional audio recording device. So for the stupid lowlifes who can't leave my channel alone because they have nothing going on in their rejected lives, who hate stalk my channel, obsessively watch my videos, and then can't stop complaining about everything I say, go jump off a cliff, you pathetic, mentally disturbed, retarded reject, and leave me alone. You don't like what I say? Then stop watching. My phone is not a professional recording device. I can hear things that maybe the phone doesn't pick up on. Stupid, right? Stupid. Just because you can't hear something doesn't mean it's not happening. Stupid. I can't hear what's happening in Australia, but it doesn't mean there isn't a whole ton of stuff happening in Australia right now. Fucking retards. It's too bad for them. Stupidity is its own punishment, as I keep saying. There's some fucking reject loitering outside this door right now. Not sure what the big attraction is for the rear stairwell all of a sudden. I'm hiding in the bathroom. I'm not in the rear stairwell because somebody seemed to have an issue with me standing in the rear stairwell, then running away from them when they suddenly decided to start coming down the rear stairwell at me when there was no reason for that. I'll just hang out here. The bathroom's safer. At least I can lock the door. So it's around 6:15 p.m. Saturday, April 5th, 2025. I'm just waiting for my delivery and getting harassed. Too bad I didn't have my phone running when that piece of shit started flying at me from 2 floors up all of a sudden for no reason And as I ran away from him, he ran faster and faster, trying to catch up with me. Stalker trash. So the pieces of shit in this building are unfortunately nothing but pieces of shit who can't leave women alone. It wasn't like that when I moved in 13 years ago now. That was a